Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-NextGen, Amazon faces more scrutiny after another drone incident. Chinese rocket's maiden flight meets a fiery end. And aviation first, soldier flies unmanned Black Hawk. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to the Aero-News Network's Airborne-NextGen program, a weekly news program covering the next generation of flight, from electric power to vertical lift, uncrewed vehicles, and everything in between. Let's get into today's stories. Amazon faces more scrutiny after another drone incident. Amazon's Prime Air drones are back in the spotlight after one of its newest Mark 30 delivery drones struck an overhead internet cable in Waco, Texas. The incident serves as an unnerving replay of safety concerns that surfaced just 2 months ago, involving back-to-back collisions with a crane in Arizona. The more recent event occurred on November 18th. The drone, registered November 139 Papa Alpha, had just wrapped up a delivery when it, quote, clipped a thin overhead internet cable, end quote, according to Amazon. The company says the impact triggered a built-in fail-safe meant to bring the aircraft down immediately in unexpected situations. The drone descended slowly and touched down without injuries or service outages. Once public concern kicked up, Amazon stepped back in to emphasize that the drone contacted an internet cable, not a power line. Still, the collision adds to a growing file of delivery drones encountering obstacles they're supposed to autonomously avoid. This collection gained weight in early October when 2 Mark 30 drones slammed into the boom of a construction crane in Tolleson, Arizona. Both aircraft were destroyed, prompting Amazon to temporarily halt Prime Air operations and sparking doubts about the reliability of the Mark 30's detect and avoid system. The mishaps follow years of optimistic projections for the program. After the break, Electra to provide military capabilities with new biz unit.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
Welcome back. Now for some shorter stories in our Next Gen Minute. Electra to provide military capabilities with new biz unit. Electra announced the launch of a new business unit focusing on the needs of military defense missions, Electra Defense, that will develop the EL-9 Ultra-STOL dual-use 9-passenger hybrid electric aircraft. The EL-9 has the ability to take off and land in spaces as short as 150 feet, enabling it to access helicopter-sized areas while also providing the safety, cost, and long-range benefits of fixed-wing aircraft. Electra Defense will leverage the growing global demand from militaries for long-range solutions that don't rely on runways to conduct distributed operations. This capability relieves some of the demand for larger airlift assets. Archer unveils Miami air taxi network plans. Archer Aviation announced its plans for the development of an air taxi network in the Miami area that will transform how people move across the region. Archer's goal is to connect population and business centers across Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, and West Palm Beach using 10 to 20-minute flights. The network will also offer efficient options to travel between the region's 3 major international airports, Miami International, Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International, and Palm Beach International, as well as several GA airports in the area. Lockheed Martin opens $17.1 million Hypersonics lab. Lockheed Martin announced the opening of a new 17,000 square foot hypersonic system integration lab at its Huntsville campus. The $17.1 million capital investment was completed in just over a year and reinforces the company's commitment to delivering rapid and reliable solutions to defense partners. In response to global threats evolving at unprecedented speed, the defense community has turned its attention to technologies that can outrun and outmaneuver potential adversaries. Hypersonic weapons travel at 5 times the speed of sound and have become the central pillar of modernization efforts. Aero-TV. Robinson helicopters go green with the new MagniX HeliStrom. A recent Aero-TV feature showcases how Robinson Helicopters has officially entered the electric arena with an early version of the MagniX-powered ER-66, which debuted at this year's AirVenture. The partnership opens the door to a zero-emissions alternative for the ever-popular turbine R-66. At the center of the aircraft is the HeliStrom, a 330-kilowatt motor that operates at higher speeds of around 6,000 to 7,000 RPM. MagniX pairs the motor with its Samson battery system, creating the full propulsion package for the ER-66. Check out the feature at Aero-News.net or on YouTube. That's it for our Next Gen Minute. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Chinese rocket's maiden flight meets a fiery end. The maiden flight of Landspace's Juche 3 rocket on December 3rd was one for the books, for both its successes and failures. The rocket reached orbit before the first-stage booster recovery attempt resulted in an explosion near the edge of the landing pad. Juche 3 is a two-stage reusable vehicle capable of placing more than 18 metric tons into low Earth orbit when recovered. Its methane-fueled stainless steel launcher propelled it off from the Jichuan Satellite Launch Center on December 3rd for its first flight. Juche 3 completed all but one of its primary mission objectives. It successfully separated its stages, deployed its fairing, and delivered its expendable second stage to orbit using a Tianxia 15A vacuum engine restart. The bad news is the one objective it failed to achieve, the planned vertical landing of the first stage. According to Landspace, the booster re-entered as expected, ignited its engines for the landing burn, and approached the designated pad with high accuracy. Moments before touchdown, however, quote, an anomaly occurred as the first stage approached the designated recovery zone, end quote, resulting in a fireball. Juche 3's design is a fraternal twin to SpaceX's Falcon 9, with 9 Tianxia 12A Methalox engines powering its reusable first stage, and an expendable upper stage providing orbital insertion. The rocket is constructed largely from stainless steel and has a strong similarity to SpaceX's programs. After these messages, an aviation first, soldier flies unmanned Black Hawk.
Are you ready to ace your FAA drone pilot knowledge test, get your remote pilot certificate, and start earning money? Well, flying a drone is a great tool that can open up new business opportunities for anyone. Realtor, insurance adjuster, videographer, or commercial weekend drone warrior, you need to fly legally. Whether you're pursuing your initial Part 107 remote pilot certificate or you need a renewal, King Schools has a course just for you. So start learning today at kingschools.com.
Welcome back. An aviation first, soldier flies unmanned Black Hawk. A soldier with no aviation experience was trained on how to create flight plans and flew unmanned Black Hawk helicopter missions with a handheld tablet while observing on the ground during Northern Strike 25-2, a military exercise. The Black Hawk, known as an Optionally Piloted Vehicle, or OPV, was developed by Lockheed Martin Sikorsky and equipped with a Sikorsky Matrix aircraft autonomy system. The test was conducted by an Army National Guard Sergeant First Class, who was trained on the tablet in less than an hour. Matrix gives control of advanced aviation to inexperienced operators who previously had to be trained pilots. This capability will enable resupply, personnel recovery, and contested logistics operations in dangerous or low-vis areas without risking human lives. The Army is revamping its aviation formations to minimize costs associated with high-maintenance crewed aircraft and take advantage of autonomous technology to reduce risks to personnel by conducting optionally piloted missions. During the test, the NCO directed the vehicle to deliver a payload 70 nautical miles away and commanded multiple precision airborne drops. This was the first time the OPV Black Hawk was operated under the full control of a real warfighter instead of a trained test pilot or engineer. 2 additional test missions were flown, including the first ever autonomous hookup of an external load while airborne. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.